Hello, my name is Anna Siegel, and I am doing my book discussion over The World Without Us by Alan Weisman. The main reason that I chose this book is because of its super catchy title. I saw it on the reading list and it really just grabbed my attention and looked like something that I would really enjoy and like to do a project over. And the book is just what it sounds like. It talks about a world if all of the humans were to disappear and leave everything just as is. And one of the main aspects of this book are the amazing interviews that Alan Weisman travels across the globe to get, many of which are with maintenance workers, who discuss the proper shutdown protocols and what would happen if they weren't implemented at places such as the Panama Canal, underground subway systems in New York City, and nuclear power plants. He also interviews archaeologists, paleontologists, and historians because he believes it is important that we understand our past so that we could better predict the future. He also learned from these numerous interviews that all humans have originated from Africa. And from there, we have evolved, adapted, and dispersed into where we are today. And one of the longest lasting man-made creations will be plastic. As scientists decide that this isn't biodegradable as of yet, that this will be one of the longest lasting proofs that humankind once walked this planet. Another thing that humans have created are domesticated animals. However, without people here to protect them any longer, they will quickly fall prey to the predators that will roam this new uninhabited land. Another thing that will happen extremely quickly is the taking over of our neighborhoods to become forest land once again. One of my favorite parts of this book, or at least the part that I found the most interesting, is that plastic is not going away anytime soon. As we know, in these past few decades, plastic production has increased significantly, making it a bigger and bigger pollutant in our society. So, instead of going away, over time it will simply ground down into smaller and smaller pieces. And from there, small marine life, such as krill, will ingest it. And then, as it moves up through the food web, it will become a part of their normal life as they adapt to this change. Although scientists don't know for sure, they are predicting that plastic could have a possible chemical release whenever they assume it will break down in thousands and thousands of years. And this could cause all of the animals that have ingested it to become unstable and cause another mass extinction. Another part of this book that I found extremely interesting was how long our houses would last if we were no longer there to take care of them. The modern home would only last about 50 years because of the cheap materials they are made out of due to the lack of natural resources left. Between rain, natural disasters, and animals coming in to find shelter and warmth, the walls would quickly disintegrate, chimneys collapse, and roofs cave in before we know it. And right after this, forests will begin to overtake our neighborhoods that we once called home. The trees, grasses, and shrubs will grow up in every possible area until our homes are unrecognizable, and the only proof that we were ever here will be our plastic appliances that stick out of the mounds where our houses once stood. The big picture of my book is that humans have caused irreversible damage to our planet. Things such as plastics, nuclear power plants, and depletion of our natural resources are things that simply cannot be undone. And plants and animals are already feeling the consequences of our actions. We've taken away so much of their natural environment that they require to thrive, to build farmlands or to build new cities. We've also depleted their natural food sources to feed ourselves. And as we do this, the endangered list is only becoming longer and extinctions only more common. And it is very easy for many people to brush this off, saying it's not affecting me. But soon it will be, and you will feel the effects if you're not already. One of the biggest problems that Alan Weisman discusses is overpopulation. As he states, 1 million people are being born every 4 days. And as our lavish lifestyles are becoming more and more common, the Earth simply does not have the resources to sustain us. And to make up for this, people are resorting to other things such as plastics to make up for this loss. And soon, we will also lose so many of the natural enjoyments we don't realize we love, such as songbirds, clear skies, and natural parks. Soon they will become a thing of the past, and if they do survive, they will become overcrowded with tourists trying to see what remains of our natural world. Although there is no way to completely undo the damage that we have done, we can do things to lessen our impact, such as restoring natural areas such as the bird reserve between North and South Korea, stopping the use of harmful chemicals that we know are bad for the environment so that we can give our atmosphere the time it needs to repair, and finding natural alternatives to things such as plastic that are biodegradable so that they don't last as long. The Earth will not completely heal because of these changes, but we could live a longer and brighter future with our world instead of against it. One of the main things that I've learned from this book is that the Earth is a constantly evolving place and that humans likely won't be here forever. If we take a look at the past, we can see ice ages and mass extinctions that have wiped out the majority of living life there at the time. And it is ignorant to think that ours will be any different. The Earth will thrive with or without us. It is just up to us to see if we would like to thrive along with it, or if we want to be the ones to aid in destroying us where we are forced to be the people to leave. In conclusion, I found this book to be an extremely eye-opening and interesting experience. It talks about and covers so many topics that you wouldn't normally even begin to think about, such as the state of Manhattan if everyone was to leave right now and leave it all just as is. What would become of the bridges, the skyscrapers, and the subway systems that we all rely so heavily on, not just in New York, but in all parts of the world? And I also found it extremely interesting just how much that our past can predict our future. Scientists have learned so much by looking at past ice ages and mass extinctions, and can study these patterns to see how our futures could possibly play out. We're not as in the dark as we think, and it's really true what they say in history class: the past does affect our future. Overall, I would recommend this book to just about anyone, but especially those who have an interest in the environment. It has amazing interviews with great statistics that are both interesting and useful as learning tools. It was an amazing experience that I would recommend to anyone. Well, thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I can't wait to listen to yours as well, and I look forward to it. Thank you.